get down to one. So we have to talk about that.
I looked at the pictures last night. I went to the gym day.
We may end up having, we were gonna talk about.
Well, wait for your next resolution. It's already started.
Yeah.
I bet you I gained 15 pounds since I
We're
stopped.
live.
It's the camera. It adds to it.
I don't know if I gained it, but it's all here, you know?
We're live,
Oh,
guys.
yeah. Man. No, I,
Tim.
Is it 7 o'clock?
Start at 6.
5 minutes, that way we can get in.
Can't you?
So looking at it.
You
Look
can
good.
communicate.
Do I got any hair?
Eyelash. That's on the one.
Now you got the mics on. We're up on this side. Up on here.
I
Okay,
like that.
we'll call the meeting to order. Rise for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
will begin with reports of our borough officers. Financial advisor, do we have anything from the financial advisor?
Cindy had because we did the flip, this is another meeting, but we'll have a report. We discussed both tonight about the trash. So everything else is we started at the beginning of the year. Tax bills are going out February 15th. So that's about what we have.
Any questions about the financial advisor's report? Next is the police chief's report.
I have nothing further to report except for what I'm going to present as council.
All right. Next is the fire chief. Did the fire chief?
Fire chief was here last evening. They're up to 595 calls, the most calls they've ever had. And it's been a busy weekend, so I thought it'd be nice if he was out last night to maybe spend the night with his wife. He was very appreciative.
Any questions about the fire chief's report? Okay. Next up is the engineer's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I don't have an official report other than to report on the trash contract when we get to that in the agenda. And I'll have a routine regular report at the regular council meeting.
We put him in the camera, or the-
Next up is the solicitor.
Thank you, Madam President. At this point, I don't have any action items other than the matters that are under the manager's report. And I really don't have any informational items so far this year. So, so far, so good, except that
If we
it
could.
tells me something I forgot.
Yeah, no, he did not. But I would like, I know you have another meeting you have to attend because of your schedule, that we move the meeting. Would it be possible to suspend the rest of that and go right? Because I need John for one or two of these items, if possible.
Does anyone have any objections to doing the manager's report before we go to community development and code enforcement? Okay, no objections. We'll go to the manager's report.
Okay, so before you, on the original agenda, had 3 bids for 24, 25, 26 for the trash and recycling. When JP and I went into the bidding process, we came up with some other alternatives. And basically what we asked for was, in case things went upside down, so we look at once a week trash pickup, which is a mortal sin for everybody, but it's always good to look at things and give some variety to the bidders, just that we are looking for some savings. And we also looked at doing twice a week in the summer only. And both of those bids, believe it or not, came in higher than doing twice a week straight through 52. In conversations about that, what happens is this, we're kind of at a disadvantage because of the size of our town. They would need to put 2 trash trucks on, which is double the manpower, double the truck, to be able to cover it in a day when you break it down to just once a week. It's the same amount of trash tonnage, but it's also more manpower. So that idea went out the window. Could have worked maybe if we're a little bigger or a little smaller. 2 trucks could make economic. If we had more houses, it would make more sense. We don't have. We have 2,635 houses. So that left us with a bid of $411,000. Our current 2023 budget for trash is $300,000. So we're already $111,000 for the trash. The recycling was 0. Back in COVID, this is pre-COVID bids that we were dealing with back when JBL came involved. So all through COVID, early on, you were getting maybe 2 cents, a ton, 5 cents a ton. Back in the good days, we were getting $2 a ton. So it went and took an entire flip in the entire market. So we're paying now, he is paying $196,000 is in the bid for recycling. So you just exponentially goes higher. So I'm going to stay focused on 2024 because my recommendation is, and JP's along with Cindy is, and we talked to John today also, do not go to 25 or 26. Let's just stay with 24, see what we're doing. Let's see where this market volatility lays out. The lock in for those next years, it just exponentially gets worse. And if fuel cost comes down, we're buying into a future that we don't really understand. So speaking of 2024, we have 600 and where's my paper here? We got a lot of glasses on here. In our fund balance for trash alone, we have $622,000 that we've been able to sock away, just keeping pace with things. Right now, we're charging $267 a ton. I'm sorry, $267 a household. And that comes out to $666,000 a year that we have. So we talked about a little bit today. We can do two options that I see. We can either wait and next year when it goes up again and the county comes in, the county's already told us they're going to increase the fees. So we can either kick it up and say next year we'll just kick it down, use the fund balance fully, and next year probably face, what do you think, JP, $125, $150 a ton? I mean, a household.
Yeah, definitely.
Talking over with Cindy, JP, legally from John on how to do this financially. We're kind of recommending maybe we hit $50 now, smooth it out a little bit, take half the fund balance and use that. Nobody likes to wake up and all of a sudden have a big hit. And then see where the market goes for next year. We're going to put bids out maybe in August, see if we can catch a good bid for next year. And then whatever the county decides to do. I'm hearing a lot of municipalities really putting a lot of effort on the county, but we had money in there kind of tucked away. The county portion of this is $235,000. That's just to dump the trash. That's the tipping fee for the county. That has nothing to do with the numbers in the bid itself. The only thing in the bid is the recycling cost. So the mechanism that we would need to do that, and I'll turn it over to John, is we would have to open the budget line item for the trash and pass a resolution. John, why don't you explain it, John, for a minute?
We would amend the ordinance. So in even years after councils reorganize, the borough code permits borough councils to reopen but budgets until February the 15th. So we would have the ability through February the 15th to amend the budget that we have. As Tom described, I mean, we certainly knew that we were going to face increases. This was a 5-year ago contract, so you're looking at 2019. You know, pre-COVID, gas was $1.63. It's 21 points ago in terms of inflation. So insurance, labor, everything went up in the meantime. But it certainly was large numbers that are being presented to us, by B&L. We did have other bids from Mascaro, which
Correct.
was
227 higher, isn't it, JP?
It was,
Bring it
yeah.
up.
It was a third higher, so 411 versus 634,000.
so. A reputable regional trash company, Mascaro, was even higher than this.
Okay.
We generally speaking benefit with B&L because their business is the boroughs down this end of the county. I mean, so they sort of have a little business plan that they've been successful with. They put it together. They have the Aldens, the Collingdales, where sort of they're closely connected together, where they can hit a couple towns a day type of thing. By consolidating those efforts, it works out for them. So in thinking and discussing about whether or not to rebid it, hoping you get a better price, we think you're probably, B&L is probably going to be your best solution. The other bidders would probably be people like Mascaro again, Waste Management, which is, usually comes in higher than Mascaro.
They do.
There's a couple other smaller ones out there that, quite honestly, the quality is not as good as B&L. You have a lot. You may get it for about the same price, but it's more headaches, in my opinion. So I concur with Tom with the recommendation of perhaps awarding for a 1-year contract. Inflation has started to decrease, from where we were last year. Hopefully fuel prices come down a little bit. And, if we bid it again next year, maybe take advantage of those things. But also in the interim, not even knowing that the County Solid Waste Authority has not issued, any tipping fee for 2024 as of yet. But from all indications, it's going to go up. I mean, it has risen severely over the last few years. So with all that combination, you may wish to take advantage of, you have not raised the trash fee in several years, at least since I've been here. you may wish to take advantage of this window to consider a, $40 or $50 increase in order to soften, if it doesn't dissipate, the prices don't dissipate by 2025, that, excuse me, that might soften the impact to residents when you finally do have to, implement an increase.
And I will say this, when I first arrived here, my phone never stopped and I had a couple of meetings with, JBL, like, you got to increase your rates. You got to get reputable people in these trucks. You can't be standing on the corner saying, day trader, $12, whatever. And I got to say, he listened. He put qualified drivers, CDL guys that know how to get up and down those driveways and some of the tighter spots. Better workers on the back, more consistent workers, I would say, on the back of the trucks. My phone doesn't ring near. I came to tell you last time, other than a total bailout on the weekends, we get a call where there's trash where they passed it and they have to come back and get it for bulk, or somebody dents a trash can or hits a car. Stupid stuff, not just service type stuff. This is just accidents or hit a fence or something like that by accident. But he's certainly improved whatever he's done truck wise. We had some broken down trucks. All that is, dissipated, along with we did the recycling on the holiday thing, which saved us some money because that would have been more money. I think he's done a decent job. I don't know Mascara. I've heard horror stories on, trash is trash, but I wasn't. Cindy and I knew, and we did not put the amount of money in the budget because you don't want to ever have a bid on the street that somebody knows what your numbers are. So it's parked in that. There's money in that fund balance. I think we put about 150,000 in figuring it was going to go up. I just never realized that he was paying that much money on the recycling fee. And that could change, right, JP? I mean, it shouldn't because China's doing everything you hear about recycling is a disaster.
Yeah.
But if there is a secondary market comes along for a product or whatever, or things start moving in the economy, that number could, and I don't think we'll ever get to the point we're going to get paid for it because of the surplus in the market, but I do believe it should level off a little bit. But I mean, when you look at it per week cost from $267, if it divided by 52, it's like 517. What I say today, 517.
Yeah.
You put $40 on, or if you put $52 on, it's $1 a week. I mean, it's a lot of money for people, but when you look at it, what you're getting, if you had to do a private person like out where you live, I mean,
400 a year.
costs you $400 a year. Some of these towns have the person contracts. When you different places.
So it's 267 now, right?
Correct.
All right, and you're saying a dollar more a week, right? 52. So we're going to bring it up to 319.
Yeah, I would suggest. I think John and I were picking around $45 to $50. I was just using the dollar to round it off. I mean,
Because we
So whatever you
really
guys
didn't
want.
have the county figure for it too, so we're
Right,
just
right.
backing ourselves up for the county too.
Right.
On that.
That's what we kicked around there, back and forth, ran the numbers every which way.
Yeah, Councilman, if you transfer part of fund balance, I mean, the good news is, we have a healthy fund balance. So if you transfer part of that, but also, look at, sort of anticipate what the tipping fee is going to be raised and maybe pass that on directly to the residents this year. You can, again, kind of feather it in if these increases continue to go the same amount. I don't think they will go into next year as the past 5 years, but you can kind of feather it in, rather than just getting hit in the head with a hammer.
And the purpose of the discussion is whatever we got to put it on the agenda, and then I'll come back and we'll figure out what the transfer of the fund balance is for the agenda. And we're looking at, if we do half, it's 320 or right now the delta for just to make up for the trash would be the 307, I think. No, 308,168 would cover, so we just have to figure out what's the delta between the
That
two
is for this year, right?
for this year.
Yeah.
Correct.
This year. Okay. And we have about the 15th of February to do this?
February 15th.
February 15th, okay,
If I'm not mistaken, we have to put something on the agenda.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, You have until February 15th. Ms. Tumalo will have a stroke.
Jerry, I just got off the phone with her. Please let me know as soon as you have it. I need to have it. I gotta have, because we have to have she needs a resolution to be able to give to the, whatever.
Yeah,
she
so I
does.
mean, you want to get your tax bills out so that the income starts to come in March, you know. So yeah, the sooner the better.
So there's some unforeseen costs that we didn't have.
Yeah, I
in the
mean,
budget. We
yeah.
have to do.
So, I mean, to summarize, like I said, it's at least from Tom, JP, and myself, the recommendation is to, and Cindy, the recommendation is do the 1 year, contract. And then, some combination perhaps of the use of the fund balance and amending the budget to, increase the trash fee. So, we can advertise, for the council meeting, the opening of the budget and leave it open. Your council's welcome to think about it, talk about it, discuss it through, and then at the January regular meeting, we can make a decision and adjust it accordingly.
And this is twice a week pickups still.
Yeah,
right?
we
Yes,
option
okay.
one at the top, if you look up there, in front of you, 2024's base bid was $411,493.
$493.
Now, down the bottom, you look down the bottom, and you see 2024 recycling. It's $196,625.
$623.
So you add the two together, and that's what your 600
Right.
comes to.
The way the contract was advertised, council has an option to extend the contract year 2 or year 3, but you don't have to exercise that option until the end of 24. So this is just for the first year, which would be a normal course, the way this was advertised for awarding this contract. So just for the first year.
Tom, my numbers are not coming out. So the two numbers together are 608,116. We budgeted for 300,000. So that would only be you said the increase this year, we need another 380,000, 168. Shouldn't it be like 308,000 instead of 380,000?
Oh, you have $607,756 is the trash bid.
608,116.
607,756,
All right. I just said, okay.
right?
411, 493, and 196, 623 is
196,263, I believe it is.
623.
I had 623. For recycling,
On here?
196, 623 comes out to 608, 116.
Okay.
So if we had 300, so we only need
Now
308,000,
you
not,
got $265,000 tipping fee on top of that. This is dealing with the total budget, not just the contract, but the total
Okay.
budget. So you're at
what was it? I'm sorry.
872,756,
Gotcha. What was the tipping fee?
265,000.
Okay, that's where I'm missing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Tom, what was that total figure?
To 872. Here. I apologize. Sorry about that. Because I'm thinking you guys have this. It's 872,756.
Tom, the tipping fee is paid by every municipality?
Yeah, the trash contracts, even though they're contracted, you get, the contract with that is through the individual municipalities, through the county. If you ever see on the side of a truck, SW,
Yeah.
that's solid waste Delaware County, that's our permit. So he can only take municipal trash from here to directly. He can't mix any other trash in it. And we get the bill per ton. Peggy gets the actual slip for the truck every month and they add it up. We pay that direct. On recycling, because he takes it at multiple places, we pay him, he gets 196. If he does it it goes to 280, he's stuck. If it comes down to 150, he makes out. So he's playing the recycle is the worst law they ever came up with, because 80% of our stuff, I guarantee, is trash. and we get hit, if that truck's got more, looks like it's got more trash in it, there's an up fee that he gets charged because there's slop in there, pizza boxes or that kind of stuff, commercial trash, that kind of. So the only thing going to that 265 is our residential trash. He can't pick up any commercial on the way. He can't pick up another town on the way. That truck's got to go directly from here to Marple and back. He can take it down to Corona directly, but going into the yard, it'll say Clifton Heights truck, Wade, weighs the truck, weighs the trash, we get the bill.
Okay.
And the counties raise that pretty high
Quite a bit in the past 3 years.
past 3 years. And a lot of times, you remember, a lot of this is just dead weight. If it rains real hard or you get a lot of snow, you're paying for water.
Yep.
Yep.
Question, I don't know if it'll be for you, Tom, or JP. The scuttlebutt is that, the county is talking about at some point not burning trash down at what was American
Correct,
Refuel. I
correct.
don't know who it is now, in Chester. Projection wise, I'm sure that would drive our cost up.
Sure would.
Well, the county's actually changed its plan this year to take 40,000 tons directly to the landfill. And the remaining collection is going to Covanta. Now, Covanta, only what they burn there is only roughly 10 to 15% of county trash. Everything else is from New York or upstate or other places, Philadelphia. They burn their trash there too. But in an effort to appease some of the people that are very upset about burning trash, they've diverted 40,000 tons a year to the landfill directly. But there's an expansion going on at the landfill right now also. And that expansion, of course, is extremely expensive. And in order to do the expansion properly, in accordance with the permit issued by DEP, they need residential waste to create the first layer in the landfill. So it kind of is a benefit for the Delaware County Solid Waste Authority to satisfy some of the needs of the people that are upset about the burning. They have to take residential waste up there anyway. But you are right. They are looking in long terms to send all solid waste or residential waste to the landfill. But that projection would take, if it's followed through, would take another 8 years or so.
It won't be my worry.
Well, the other part of that is that bill there, the solid waste bill, and I've said it for years when I was mayor, that can be billed directly from solid waste. They have the ability to send the fee directly to residents. We get the burden of increasing this. They increase to us. We have to give it to the resident, but it's really their fee.
It is. Yeah, and for many years, as John knows, we didn't get a bill from Solid Waste Authority. Many years ago.
And the chairman was a young councilman. Anyway, we worked on this all day today. Probably have it sooner, but we didn't get the bids in the 29th, I think it was.
28th, we opened the bids.
We opened up the bids. Penn bid opened them. So John, what's just we'll work on it, get on the agenda.
Yeah, I mean, I think two things, we have to put the trash contract on there. And again, the recommendation of your officers is for the 1 year option. And then secondly, the opening of the budget to make a transfer from the trash balance, trash reserve fund, for some amount, and perhaps in combination with the implementation of a trash fee this year, and that's really up to council and share your ideas with Tom about how those two add up together.
Oh, by remember our meeting's Tuesday. All right. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now.
16.
So, Madam Chair, my apologies. As I said, because we flip-flopped this meeting, I'm actually due in a different municipality, 7:30. So, but I wanted to
See how their trash fees though. Wait, so you can,
Yes, do what they're paying.
see what they are. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
that may be excused. Thank you.
So do we have any additional questions or comments regarding the manager's report? Okay. So then we'll circle back to community development and code enforcement.
Thank you, Madam President. I don't have any additions to my report this time.
All right, we'll move on to council reports. First ward, Mr. Swan, do you have anything?
I have nothing at this time.
Okay. Mr. Resnick's not here. Mr. Fagioli?
Nothing.
Mr. Cannon? Mr. Bond's not here. Ms. Borelli?
I just want to thank the chief and his department for New Year's Eve. There was excitement and the speed at which it was taken care of and locked down and addressed was just extremely well handled. So
Thank you. I'll express that to the officers on scene.
All right. I do not have anything to report at this time. Mr. Gorman?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor, do you have a report for us?
Just a couple of things. Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple little reminders. January 15th is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The borough will be closed on that day. January the 19th is PAL signups. I believe that is a Saturday. And then January the 27th is a e-cycling and shredding right here at the Borough Hall from 9 to 12. That's all I have. Thank you.
Before you adjourn.
Yeah, we'll have a short executive session after the meeting. So,
Mhm.
All right, we can adjourn. Thank you.
You off? Hey, Mike.
Mike,
Mike,